Hello nobody! Today I'm going to be going over a Vantage guide, more specifically the movement part of her kit, but we'll touch on every part of her kit from her basic abilities, passive, tactical, and her ultimate. Let's start with Vantage's passive, Spotter's Lens. When you ADS with no gun in your hand or any scope stronger than 2 times, not including the 1 to 2x scopes, you get a box around your HUD, and when an enemy appears in this box, it tells you the people alive in that squad, what armor they have, and their distance. If you ping an enemy while they're highlighted by your passive, you can relay this information to your teammates in chat automatically. Her passive also gives you a small circle telling you the bullet drop your weapon will have and where you should be aiming it. Here's an example of what this box looks like in your HUD, even using just a 2x scope. Now I can't tell here if this is a part of her passive or if it's a bug, but you can see, right there, you can see all the information, although it looks like you can see them through Bangalore smoke. Whether this is a bug or intentional, I'm not sure. Here you can see another example, who the enemy is playing as, how many of them are alive, and what kind of shields they're using. On the top right, you can see what the chat looks like if you were to ping someone who is currently being affected by your passive. Let's pause that clip. Let's talk about Vantage's ultimate instead. Sniper's Mark. You pull out a sniper rifle with a total of 5 shots at 100%. It deals 50 damage per shot, and whenever you shoot someone, that specific person takes an increased amount of damage. That doubles for you, and your team does an increased 15%. It's also very revealing. It provides a red laser and a red glare on top of your person, which makes it very obvious when someone is using this. Keep that in mind when you're aiming down sights to scout. You give away your team's position, but you can also use it to show presence. Now touching on the juicy part of this character, her tactical, Echo Relocation. You throw out Echo, and you can launch straight towards him. All you need is line of sight. A small tip, you can only throw him out as far as 40 meters. However, if you start running away from Echo, he stays where he is until you reach roughly 55 meters, then he'll begin to follow you and stay out as far as 55 meters. You can still launch to him at this distance, but it is much farther than what it was at 40. Vantage would not be Vantage without her best pal, Echo. You can use him mid-fight, rotations, or if you just want to fly. Your only real setback is your creativity. Obviously here it wasn't the most creative, but you get the point. I was able to save my teammate because of it. Vantage is obviously limited, just so she's not, running too rampant, by line of sight, more specifically, along with her cooldown. Here, not in line of sight. It's a little inconsistent on what Apex considers line of sight. After all, this branch is, and that one isn't. It doesn't make too much sense, but Apex is what it is. You can scale this and the other big bridge on the other side of the map. You can do one, and in both of them you can reach this small little outlook over here. In both uses, you can get on one, and you can use your ability again to go up a second time to the top. Now, using your ability, pause. A big tip I would recommend, always know what you're doing. If you come up here, and there's a whole team up there, you need to react and be able to turn around and bail. It is very finicky if you aren't careful. A big part of Echo is positioning. That little arrow just helps dictate where he is. When you've launched up to Echo, you don't actually launch under him or above him. You kind of launch a little bit in front of him in the direction that you're going. Here, I was trying to reach the top of that, which I couldn't, because he was positioned, as I now found out, wrongly. And you need to be very careful and mindful when you're using him about how you're going to keep your momentum and move it around. Because It's a little specific on how you use it. Here, I had to reorganize, re-angle, and then I can do it again and get the top height that I wanted. We're going to have another time where I'm rotating, surveying the land, and we're going to want a freeze frame right here. And right here, we have another decision to make. While obviously I'm just rotating, in the situation of a fight, it's something to be mindful of. You have two options here. You can cancel it mid-flight and go below, or you can continue to go through and go above. For fun, I decided to go below. Very slightly touching on her ultimate, I'm 100 meters away, and you can see how they notice me due to the big red laser and the glare. I use my tactical to get away, and I found this tiny little cheeky spot. Just don't tell anyone about it. You can fly all the way up here, and you can probably get a really good rat spot right here. You can wait for your ultimate, not your ultimate, my apologies. You can wait for your tactical to recharge, or you can climb straight up to the windows that are right above this. Pretty convenient if you ask me. And from here, you can continue just doing a little walking around, little surveying. I made the small mistake of slipping, but I was lucky, and I realized you can be up here. You can fly up here if you want using your tactical, or you can just do the other way. And this from here, you can do another tactical and climb your way up to the top and act like you didn't see that shot of me completely missing that Valkyrie 2 feet from me. Another small spot, it's not super useful, I'll admit, but if you ever wanted to, you can fly your way up here and you can play games with your enemies, making them think that you're doing something wacky. I don't know why you would do this, but you can. Just remember, you slide off of that pipe. Here's another cheeky spot. If you want to rotate around through Skulltown, but you don't want to actually go through Skulltown, you can do this. And while I assure you this is not as concerning and very hard to do as it might look, I just chose to cancel it instead of doing a jump, which was honestly a little extra. If you wanted to, you can jump above this big wall here and get on the pipe, or you don't have to. Continuing to the next example, you can go right over this wall. You don't have to deal with anyone, you don't have to fight a team holding that choke on your right or the left. Well, okay, you might have to hold one on the left, but you don't have to hold the one on the right. My favorite rotate I've been able to do with her so far is going over this big wall and capacitor. You can go right over, just be a little careful with it, it's a little tricky, you just have to be able to time the jump and place echo well. You can do it same from the other side, so you can go right back into capacitor if you felt like it. And I'd like to thank you all for watching. This was kind of fun to make. I enjoy playing Vantage. I hope you all enjoy playing her too. She's a pretty fun and good character, I have to admit. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try and get to as many as I can, if there are that many. And I hope to see you all some other day.